Okay, here we go in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening here on the East Coast, and probably good afternoon out on the Pacific Coast. Welcome to Real World News TV tonight, and I'm your host, Reginald Kearney, with my co-host, Tony Breedlove. You know, we just want to sit here and just talk for a little while about some of the happenings that are going on around this country today, and since the last time for the last show last week. So, Tony, how you doing tonight?
I am fabulous. You know why?
Why?
Ask me why.
Why? Because
this is why.
Night. Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Oh my God! I decided to pour my a glass of wine because tonight's show regarding the Alabama race. What else is it? Sexual harassment. And civil rights, and how all of these things kind of like blend together. Right. So I felt that wine was in order.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Yeah, it's a crazy one. No, I'm sitting here just looking through here and see if anything come in yet. But I guess by the time the show's over, we should have some numbers in. You know,
yeah, I would hope so. But you know what? I think that's going to happen is they're going to keep us on pins and needles tonight.
Well,
because I think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's probably going to be a close race. You know, I don't think it's going to be a runaway for neither one of them. You know, so I think it'd be close. It'd be pretty close.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are right. And I'm sorry, I'm not looking into the camera. I'm having some technical issues over here. I'm getting some delay. So just bear with us, because when Reggie starts to speak, I'm going to put him in full camera. But before we even get started, do you mind if I mention our sponsors?
Go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. Real World News TV and the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Also sponsored by SPMG Media. Thank you, Ms. Gina Smith, for making sure that we continue to be relevant, not only in digital press, but also print news all over the country. Also, a thank you to Miss Jamie E. of Ninth Island Cultural Club. She does a lot of things for the community here in Las Vegas, so thank you to her as well. And also that very handsome gentleman that you see taking his glasses off, trying to get all nice and cute for you. That's Reggie Kearney, who happens to also sponsor the network with the Urban Sentinel. So make sure that you check out all of our sponsors by going over to our website at hottopictalkradio.com/sponsors. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, I guess we can start on this show.
Yeah, that was a lot to get out of the way. You know, but we got to give some props to our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be around.
Absolutely.
So,
you're right.
Yeah, so where did we start at tonight?
Oh, my God. Let's start with Alabama. That's the first word or name or state in tonight's title, because we're going to hit the hot buttons on all of them. I'm pretty sure we will. Right. But let's start with Alabama. You know, Alabama as a state, you know, and what we're up against as a country with Roy Moore, who was one of the candidates running for the Senate seat. Let's talk about him to start with.
He's really running for office because he rode his horse into the polls today, you know. So, I mean, I don't know what that was all about, riding the horse in, trying to look like a little cowboy.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that because I've been away from news all day. Are you serious?
Yeah, he rolled into the polls on his horse. Like he's riding into town to save the day. Or save a state out.
You gotta be kidding me.
Going, you know. I mean, I don't know. This is a referendum tonight, you know. A referendum on the 45 administration, you know. My hope is that he will lose the race because there's so much controversy surrounding this guy, especially when it comes down to sexual harassment the accusations of being a pedophile. But
Mm-hmm.
people of Alabama, which seem to be in, I'll be honest with you, a bunch of idiots, especially on the Republican side, the conservative right wing evangelicals, they seem to be naive to what's going on. They feel like it's false, fake news, and that's all they craft.
But wait a minute, do you really think that they are oblivious to what's going on? That I think that they really don't give a care. Trying to be nice.
It's not because they are willing to allow this man to take office with everything that's surrounding him, with the number of accusations. But then you look at postings on Facebook where, they interview people, and this one guy said, well, his grandmom got married when she was 13, had kids at 15. It's something that's ingrained in the culture,
in their history, in their culture. You're right.
White culture of Alabama. So I think that's right. Because they don't find nothing wrong with it. The one guy said a parent would be happy that the DA would be wanting to see their young daughter. They thought it was an honor, for him to be running up and sniffing behind a 14-year-old girl. That's just how they think, which is very ignorant. I think that's one reason they have so many issues among themselves, because of the simple fact, stuff that outside of Alabama and Mississippi, and Kentucky and West Virginia and Tennessee that wasn't accepted by other parts of the country in these areas is acceptable. They don't see nothing wrong with it, And then they try to equate Jesus with the birth of Jesus, with Joseph and Mary, trying to equate that with what Roy Moore is doing, and it's two totally different situations, So,
yeah.
It's a mixture of both culture, intelligence, ignorance, a number of things that plays into this thing. So they feel like it's all right, and then I think this finally they don't like the fact that they're under the national spotlight, and they've got the so-called quote-unquote elite Republicans telling them what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. So again, there's some defiance there also, in the whole situation, trying to say, look, this is Alabama, we'll do what we want to do.
Yeah.
So make them look like idiots. Make them look like idiots.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I just have such a horrible feeling about if this man gets into office. I'm talking about Roy Moore. Mm-hmm. I just have this horrible feeling. I mean, it's not like that we are in the greatest of position right now with whom we have in office, or with the Republican Party. I don't think that we're in the best of situation, but my imagination takes me to some crazy places when it comes to now finally putting someone such as Roy Moore in this Senate seat, because this is what I think, of course, Trump wanted, because this gives him an opportunity to have that last standing vote when they do vote on issues, and know that he will choose to vote in whatever he's looking to have approved or to get into law or to bill. So that's scary to me. That's, I mean, completely scary to me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. But I'm asking the listeners, do they feel the same way that I do? Are they following this as closely as we are, or even remotely, on a median level of knowing what this election can do and what it means?
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be good for the country if he loses this race, because it puts the Senate, gives the Democrats a chance to get the Senate back. Okay, puts them that much closer. Okay, And it would definitely change the scenery of politics in Alabama if a Democrat would be able to get elected. But now, what is going to happen if a Democrat does get elected? It's not really a mandate for Democrats. It's more of a slap in the face and say we don't want Roe Moore in Washington. So the true test will come years down the road when they have to this seat's back up for re-election. If a Democrat wins in the second time around in Alabama, because Alabama's traditionally a strong Republican state. So the work will be cut out. The Democrats probably had their work cut out for them over the next umpteen years to really try to get that state into a 50-50 split as far as trying to get those votes and stuff. But it's going to be something to see. It's going to be something to see. And my gut feeling is the way those folks are down in Alabama, Roe Moore will probably win.
You think so?
My gut feeling is the actions and how they acting down there. They act like they really don't care. They want to send him to Washington. They want to prove a point to America that they're going to do what they want to do, regardless. And then what happens once they do that, if he does get elected, it causes the issues in Washington because surely he's going to get sent back to Alabama once he gets to Washington. Because what's happening now?
Well, let me ask you a question because it's something that just came to mind when you were speaking about this. But do you think that him not getting elected is really going to make a difference in the world as to the policies and things that are going on down there in Alabama?
No, it's not. I mean, racism is going to continue on. The treatment of the people, the African American community and the way it's treated is going to continue on. This is just going to be a little bump in the road, regardless of what happens and stuff. You got a person like Roe Moore saying, that slavery was the best thing that ever happened in a sense. That
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it when that came out.
Yeah, but it just shows the racism that's abound in that state, and that how people think,
Yeah, or even with the comment that his wife made.
Yeah.
About the Jews.
Yeah.
I was floored.
Yeah, instead of saying Jewish lawyer, a Jew.
Yeah, we have a Jew lawyer.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to me. And I'm just, like I said, I am afraid for those people that are down there in Alabama and what this could do, because here it is. Trump has excused whatever crime he had committed. He was about to be sentenced to some of his shortcomings down there. And for him to pardon him before even sentencing, says to the country, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as I can count on you, as long as you have, we have your loyalty, then, all bets are off. Everything goes.
Right.
That's the way that I'm taking it, and maybe I'm the only one that sees it that way.
Well, I think a lot of people it's all about the vote. And that's what it's about, a vote, and that's the sad thing about it, with everything's coming around, because it seems like with the national attention being on sexual harassment this time, it seems like those people in Alabama would have ran away from this man, not associated with him,
right.
But they did, they gravitated towards him even harder and stronger, and they willing to accept it. He's a Republican, they want him up there regardless. But then, like I said again, you look at the religious aspect of it, and those people down there call themselves so-called Christians, they're willing to go to hell and back to get this man in office.
But see, and that surprises me, because if there is someone who, just really studies the Bible or knows the Bible, then it's surprising to me that even through their own interpretation, that they could come out with some of the most idiotic and asinine comments against the human race in a whole.
Right.
They make some statements that are just way out there. And with those statements, you cannot call yourself a Christian. I just I don't know how they can relate the Bible or relate to the Bible and then make the statements or comments that they do. How in the world is that Christian? And people follow that.
Yeah, I know, but they're trying to say that they're trying to say that God is a forgiving God, and that, you know, if he's repented of what he's done in the past, then God has forgiven him, so it's life as usual. He can go ahead and keep going, and that's what that thinking is. You know, is warped as it may be. That's how they feel, and that's how they think. You know, and that's a great disappointment. But then when you have national preachers coming out, like Franklin Graham and some of those guys coming out and lending their support to Alabama, you know, people follow these guys. So, you know, if they say we're going to take a ride to hell, then they're going to follow them straight to hell to get this vote. And that's what we're doing, you know. So,
well, yeah. I just can't wait to see the results of the polls when they come in. And like you said, I think that it is going to be a close race. And all we can do is pray, because I think that having him on that Senate seat is going to be detrimental. Right. I just truly believe it's not going to be just detrimental for people in Alabama or for the Southern region. It's going to be detrimental for the country, and even those who are abroad, because, you know, of course, having him in that Senate seat allows him to continue to be in the ear of Donald Trump, and they will make decisions that are going to be disastrous for us here in this country. I believe that. I believe that.
And it's sad that it's all about a vote.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Really sad about that. You know.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. So let's talk about my all-time favorite, the civil rights, and what your idiotic number 45th president did over the weekend.
Well, you see what really happened down there. He didn't speak to a lot the outside crowd. He spoke to a private audience inside, because
of course he did.
He didn't want to get jumped on and beat up, you know. So he took his stuff on the inside, you know. I think it was a slap in the face to the African American community for him to show up down there.
Of course it was. Of course it was. Yeah. Because he should have never had his ass there. Never. With all of the things that are a part of his track record and his history alone says, do not go down there for the blessing of the new Civil Rights Museum. And I thought that not only is it a slap in the face for him to be there, but his being there, it made it so that it was uncomfortable for those who should have been there not to be. Yeah. You know,
they did the right thing, you know. Lewis and the other congressman and Benny, they did the right thing by not coming down, by not showing up, you know, to be on the stage. Yeah. I mean, you look at how how he's spoken and talked about how they'll talk against the African American community and people of color. Okay, come on now, you can't have your cake and ice cream both at the same time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I was not surprised when certain people did not accept the invitation or said that they were going to show up. I was not surprised. I think I would have been more surprised if they had shown up. People who had fought and risked their lives during the civil rights movement to come and pay homage to a museum that is about our history. And when you find someone in the position such as the president who has mocked and stepped on our history,
Yes.
over the, not just since he's been in office, but over the course of him being an adult and probably before that. You know, he has mocked our history.
Yeah.
And for him to, you know, make it so that it's uncomfortable for those who should be there to not be there, that was just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
did you hear about his speech? Did you hear his speech?
That's what that was. I mean, for one time, he didn't go off script. You know, he stuck with the words that I'm pretty sure Omarosa or either Ben Cotton wrote for him.
Oh my God! But Ben Carson's ass, you know, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Right? Did you see him in the background?
Yeah, his wife holding on
when Trump was there.
You know, and,
I wish I could have reached through that TV. And he was leaning a little bit more and more to the left so he could get camera time. Did you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't just me.
Right. So it was something. It was something to see, you know, and you know, Omarosa was there, you know, tagging along in the background. You know, I guess those is 3 faithful Negroes that hang out with him, you know.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think President Trump's, what do you think his visit is actually going to do when we talk about the museum that had been opened and honored this past weekend? What do you think it's going to do for the overall issues of civil rights because of his appearance?
Nothing.
Well,
nothing.
Can you elaborate?
I mean, the man has no track record in civil rights. I mean, here's a man who thought Frederick Douglass was still living. You know, so I mean, it can't help improve anything. You know, if you listen to the Hook, she thinks it's the best thing that happened since sliced bread. That he participated in it. Okay,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hey.
OMG. OMG.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me mention the sponsors because we're already halfway through. Hot Topics Talk Radio Network and Real World News TV. If you've noticed, is no longer Real World News Radio. We're TV now. Sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Make sure that you head on over to our website at hottopicsstalkradio.com/sponsors. Now, you have to remember that if you mention the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network or any of the shows that are under the network, you are going to receive 15% off your purchase. So make sure you do that. Head on over to Corona or to Long Beach and tell Miss Vonia Qualls and Miss, oh Lord, she's going to kill me, Miss Renee Qualls, that you heard about them right here on Real World News TV under the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. They've got some great things. Okay. So I've been using their products for years now. Their fragrant oils are just off the chain. So you got to head on over there to the store. Make sure that you mention the network or any of the shows to receive 15% off your purchase. Shades of Africa for the mind, body, and spirit. So I'm done with that, Reggie Kearney.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Oh my gosh. So we could talk forever about the idiocy that's going on in Alabama, also the idiocy of our president. You know any other idiots that we need to talk about before we move on?
Well, one thing before we move on, you know, we got to look at the idiot and his tweet today, you know, which was a crazy, you know, concerning the senator, you know, and it sounds like it was a real sexist tweet. You know, what you think?
What was it? I've been away from news today.
Well, she me see, kind of look at it real quick. She was commenting on the fact about, his need to resign because of sexual harassment and allegations against him. Trump's tweet today. Let me see.
Do you have the tweet?
Talking about Senator Gillibrand and in the accent saying that she would do anything for campaign donations because she called for him to resign from the Senate because of all the accusations. I mean, from the presidency because of all the accusations concerning, sexual harassment accusations. So that's where he came back at. So hey. Senator Warren said he was trying to slut shame Senator Gillibrand. But Senator Gillibrand said, look, it is what it is, and she's not backing off. So.
Really?
Yeah. So you had those kind of issues, So, I mean, the guy is off the hook, I mean, you got, close to 20 women accusing him of sexual harassment? So
yeah.
Him and Moore are gonna look real good together up in Washington.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah. So
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Let me apologize to people who are looking in. I'm not sure if my camera is. I'm having some syncing issues. I'm not sure what the hell's going on, but I do apologize for the delay on my side. But it's really nothing I can do about it at this point because we are live. But I'm glad that you are sitting here. I'm glad that you are looking in. Makes Reggie Kearney feel good when you look in and watch. So, again, I do apologize. I'm getting some syncing issues that are going on with my audio and my video. So I do apologize. And as always, we're continuing to work on things around here. So the sexual harassment thing, it seems like more and more women are coming out of the shadows. Do you think that this issue of sexual harassment is going to play a big part in, say, our next general election, our national election?
Not really. I think by the time we get to the next one, I think the fallout would have been overcome. Okay, there won't be too much fallout. I think over between now and next 6 months, I think everything that's going to come out is going to come out. Because a lot of people, are falling along the way right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You are so right. Let me make a comment, Reggie. We're getting, those people that kind of like want to come into your shows and hang out and don't have anything productive to say or anything that is in relation to the shows. They are trolling our chat room. So I guess that's a good thing because you guys feel good enough about us that you want to come sit in our shows, which is fine. That's fine. But just know that the unfortunate part is that you will get the wrath of me. Now, I say this because Reggie's too nice to say it, and I'm not the one. I'm just not the one. But what you are doing is juvenile. So go troll someone else, and then maybe you'll have better acceptance. How's that? This is a serious show, but your actions tell us just how juvenile you really are. So if you can't allow people to have the opportunity and the platform to be able to exert their free speech, then move on. Bless your hearts. Special place for you guys. Trust me. Anyway.
I'm just looking at them. They're really going back and forth on Moore. I feel good about your couch. It's just a couch auction,
Yeah.
no more allowed within 100 feet of the couch. So what's up with the couch?
What's the point?
Yeah,
That's the part I'm not understanding. And these are people that we've never even seen. They
yeah.
have never been a part of our shows.
Hmm.
They're not a part of our friends list.
Right.
Nothing, you
Yeah.
know. But it shows me just how juvenile and how ignorant people really are. And yes, I am calling you out. And the great thing is that other people see how really stupid you are being. So
Yeah.
carry on, carry on, because you
Yeah.
make no difference in this world anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yes. Okay.
So are you looking at anything on the polls yet?
Yeah, I did. I pulled up something a minute ago, and let me. Well, 17% in, and Moore is leading Jones by 48, 50 to 48%. So he only has a 2% lead.
Mm,
Like I said, it's going to be a close race. It's going to go right down to the wire. So I mean that's where it's going to be at. But
right,
it's
right.
I tell you this. It's getting ridiculous of these comments we're getting online tonight.
Yeah, let's see. Because, like I said, they're stupid, but little do they know they boost our numbers. So keep
Yeah.
on, dumbasses. Oh, I'm sorry, Reggie. I'm sorry. You know me.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with doing my thing. You know, I never have. But I'm anxious to see how the numbers are coming in. Because like I said before, this is a very, very important race. And a lot of people, I don't believe, really understand how important this race is. And it's going to determine a whole lot of different things,
Yes, it
you know.
is. Yes, it is.
So um, I'm actually trying to get in to the show on the page. Let's see how stupid you really are. Because with stupidity comes consequences. That's all I have to say. So you guys keep right on, okay? Because I'm working on some things for you. Okay.
Yeah, like I said,
So
I'm
you,
really trying to figure out, this couch and lazy boy thing is going,
yeah, nowhere, nowhere. It's pure ignorance.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. It's pure ignorance,
it is.
and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it tells people who are here to actually listen to the show seriously and look at the show. I think it tells people, these are the kind of people that we are expressly speaking of
Mm-hmm.
and their mentality down in Alabama who are running this, this great race for a racist pedophile. And I said it. So, how do you turn that conversation into a sectional couch? Je expose. So, yes, I'm calling you out, you dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Because we're going to keep on going. And with your comments and your actions comes consequences. That's all that I'm going to say. And you can figure out what I'm talking about later when you can't get on. How's that? Um, All right. So we're coming up to about the 15 after the hour. Um, what else do we have to talk about tonight, Mr. Kurt?
I don't know, but one of the things that was kind of irritate me, you won't really hear me saying a whole lot about, the ignorance and the intelligence of a lot of people in this country is shown every day in their actions and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't find myself being disappointed by what people do. I really think again it's juvenile that people will go on somebody else's show and really uh, um, screw up the show with dumb comments. So,
Mm-hmm.
You know, when this is a serious talk show about the issues and everything. You know, if you're not interested, you just get the off the site and everything.
Well, the thing is, though, Rich. Yeah, but the thing is that you would think that there would be enough intelligence that if there was something that they truly wanted to say, that they would have the balls to say it.
Yeah.
And let us address it.
Yeah, like
but
exactly, Michael. What what's up with this couch thing? Okay, it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. But again, I'm addressing those who have come here to try and troll the show. Have the guts to post a real comment and let us address it. Otherwise, you can actually leave the show and go back into that small little hole that you've crawled out of. But don't disengage what is trying to be done on a positive level, not so much as, trying to bash anybody. We're talking about real issues here. So if you don't have the guts to address whatever it is that's on your mind, then move on. Because all it does is it makes you look bad. And these are some of the things that we address when it comes to this type of election, where it is filtered and fueled by hatred, filtered and fueled by prejudice and racism and all of these. This is exactly what you are showing as you comment like this. So if you don't have the guts, the courage, just outright courage, if you don't have the courage to address whatever issue it is that you have with what either we're doing or with what is going on in this country, then please leave. I mean, it's that simple. But don't continue to make the comments, as you're doing when it has nothing to do with the show, because this is the kind of behavior that continues to fuel hatred. And that's exactly what you're doing. So, let's be adults here. I'm not sure what the purpose is, but I'm on some adult shit here. I'm not playing games with people. So move on.
I look beyond the ignorance of people. I don't even let it bother me. It's just fact of being live and technology today. People don't have anything else to do. So let's talk about some real issues and not even deal with these. We only got a few more minutes and everything.
Of course,
we shut down for the night. But we just gotta really look at the way this country's headed. Going in. And like I said, this will really, this election will really tell, where it's going. Okay. Look, I tell you, it wasn't for my Lord have mercy, boy. They really, really bothering me right now. And I know I have people that in the community and around this country who know me and understand me, would be shocked at some of the things I would say if I said them and everything. But I'm just gonna try to keep things to myself. Children play games, okay? And real people understand the issues, okay? Real people want to talk about the issues, okay? Right. Free speech sometimes is what it is and everything. But this kind of juvenile stuff is not acceptable, okay? From people that are supposed to be adults, and I really just don't accept it, okay? And I don't know what the message they're trying to get across, or what they're trying to imply, it's just, go somewhere else and play your games, okay? There's other shows you can go on to and then do your thing, okay? So it is what it is and everything.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are moving in the direction of a positive nature,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately for you people, you know, you do what you do. You
Yeah.
do what you do. But let me ask you a question, Reggie, because see, now that we know that there are these kind of people out there, even for the live shows
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing now on Facebook and eventually then in other areas, um, does this? Do you think this actually represents um, certain culture when it comes to people who don't want to talk about the issues? Do you think it's that they have to blow a smokescreen because they're afraid to talk about the issues, or is it that they don't understand the issues?
Well, I think it's both. I think some people don't understand the issue. Some people want to play games. Some people blow smoke. Some people don't seriousness of what's going on in this country. Uh, uh, Seriously, you know, they look at it as games. This country is in terrible shape right now. Okay, and people
Mm-hmm.
need to understand that, and people need to figure out, how we're going to get beyond where we are right now. Okay, if you don't take it, I don't like this Todd Ottman, Uncle Jemima. He calls you out. Okay,
Yeah,
no, for me that's
exactly.
racist. Okay, that's just downright racist. Okay, I haven't talked
It
about
is.
anybody. I haven't been racist on this show. I
It
haven't
is.
called anybody out about anything. I've been basically talking about the issues. Okay, AJ
Mm-hmm.
Espo. I don't know what you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about, but we've been talking about what's going on in Alabama. Okay,
Right.
Davis Hancock. I'm not into couches. Okay, you know, I'm into the news. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
and AJ Espo, whatever you saying, calling somebody Aunt Jemima, or Uncle Jemima, I really don't appreciate that. I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think even having the picture
Mm-hmm.
they have on the pancake in there is a racist picture. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yes, I'm African American, and I'm proud to be African American. Okay, you know,
Absolutely.
and so it's just no space, on here for that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. So
Yeah.
I've learned through my website, I learned through my encounters in the community with people that you're going to have uh, um, you will have a certain segment of population that, sometimes, they all,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is, okay? You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the issue right now is the Alabama election, okay? Because it's going to affect the
Yeah.
country, whichever way it
It
goes,
is.
and
It surely
that's what
will.
I understand, that's what I understand, so.
Right. It surely will. It surely will. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and mention a sponsor, SPMG Media. Thank you, Miss Gina Smith, for your continued support for over the years. Gina Smith happens to also be the publicist for the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. For more information, you can head on over to our website at hottopicstalkradio.com and find out more about our sponsors. Let me just say this because I know we're winding down some time and we've got about 5 minutes or so that is left. So I want you to come on back and join us tomorrow night on Hot Topics Talk Radio with Roland D and I at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And we're going to get into some really, really fun issues tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to being here with you tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, Man to Man Radio with Richard Hall and Chris Smith. So you guys got to check them out as well. So those are for the people who really want to talk about good stuff. Oh, my God. So we have gotten to the end, Reggie Kearney. Got anything
Yeah,
else to say?
no, I mean, ignorance is bliss, and
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
just
In their
don't
own little world.
even try to figure it out.
Yeah. In their own little world. And the unfortunate part is that people like that, they don't succeed. And if they do, it's not for long.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. That's the law of nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so just remember, blacks have been through a whole lot. So a lot of the things that are being said on this chat room, it really doesn't mean a hill of beans to us. We've seen, heard, and been done worse. Okay, yeah. So so if that's what you want to do, have at it. Okay.
Yeah. No. And
can I say one bad word?
No. Just keep it up. Most of the times I listen, but don't even stick to that level.
Yeah, you're right, Reggie.
There's some racist connotation that's going on here, okay? And and I know it, and I'm gonna do, I'm not even gonna let it bother me.
As we should not. As we should not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hayden Moser, nobody's mad at you, just feeling sorry for you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Bless their hearts. Well, God be with you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so it's time for us to go ahead and get out of here. And I'm glad that whomever was watching tonight was able to take something out of tonight, avoid everything else. Right. And I'm hoping that you'll join us here again. But we're going to bid our good nights. Yeah. And we're going to keep a close eye on what's going on in Alabama. Yeah. Also with the candidates, also with the president. We're just going to keep an eye on everything. All right. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. You've been listening to Real World News TV and watching in with Reggie Kearney and myself, Tony Breedlove, as I sat in for Miss Chera Ann Tappan. So tonight is the last show of the year. Yeah. So make sure that you come on back here on Real World News TV next year, 2018. So look for the invitations to do so. And we will see you back here in 2018. We wish you well for the rest of this year, and we hope nothing but the best and God's blessings for you at the turn. And turning to 2018. And just want to say happy holidays to you and best of wishes to your family. You guys have a good time. And just remember to always keep God first. And please be safe during this holiday season. We're out of here, y'all. Good night.
Peace out. Later for the races.
Peace out.
Races go to bed. Get to sleep tonight.
That's right.
And Sam Cowan, I tell you, I'd like to meet him one day on the street. Hey, but let me go.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just waiting for it clear. That's all.
Okay. I'll see you later.
All right. Good night, everybody.